It's 10 o'clock in the morning and I'm just going around to see a friend in Watchet who's very green. He wants to show me his solar system and various other efficient systems he has in his house. Just for the record, there's a measurement of our own solar cell generation. Just under a kilowatt, 10 o'clock in the morning on a not too bright day. And the green colour signifies that we're producing more electricity from our roof solar cells than we're actually using in the house. So that's good news. Anyway, we're going to go around and see what Charles has got in his system and some of his other ideas about solar energy and how to live a very green existence. Right, you can see the solar cells on Charles's roof. Some for electrical energy, some for hot water. And he's already got his electric bike out, so we'll go and have a closer look. In fact, he's got more than one here, so he'll no doubt come out and show us around the benefits of each model. Yeah, besides these electric bikes, I can see a great big storage tank there for saving his rainwater. Yeah, another good idea. And you can see he's been cutting up some wood for his wood burner, I expect.
Yeah, I stopped driving when I was 80, and, and these have replaced a car.
Yeah. Why have you got the two then? Have you got from
Well, because
one...
Angela would like one as well.
Right, I noticed her bike is still there, but she...
Oh yeah, Angela uses that one for short distances.
Right.
But this one for anything like Willerton or whatever.
Yeah. What sort of range do they have then, the electric bikes?
This one is supposed to have
What's the one on the left?
60 kilometres on low power.
Yeah.
30 kilometres on high power, and I never use it on anything else except high power.
No,
because I need all the help I can get. So but it'll do mine head and back.
Oh, great.
Oh yeah, I go to Crampton
regularly. If the battery should run out, you can still pedal it back.
You could, but
is it a bit heavy then? Is it?
It's quite a heavy thing,
yeah.
really.
Yeah.
But and the battery's a lithium one in this one, but it's an ordinary lead acid in that one. And that one, of course, as soon as it dies, we're going to get another one of these. And we both use this one, unless we both go out. And if we both go out, we toss it, and one of us uses that one.
Oh, so this is the better machine then, really?
Oh, yeah, this is, well, 1,600 quid's worth.
Is it? Oh, gosh.
Yeah, that was 200.
Oh, what a difference.
Well, that was second-hand, this was new.
Yeah,
and the trailer was given to me, and I bring home sacks of potatoes from Wellington or wherever. Saves £2, you see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The tyres look quite solid on this.
They are belt guard on this one.
Is that some special...
They got Kevlar lining, so it is possible to get punctures, but I've never had a puncture in a Kevlar line. All the bikes I've had for years, I've been putting Kevlar lined tyres on.
I hadn't been aware of those then. Yeah, that's a great advantage.
You ask for belt guard or Kevlar lined or something, that's what you'll get.
And you've got substantial tyres that are puncture resistant anyway.
Yeah, that's right. That's the word. Yeah. And that one's got ordinary ones on, but I don't think I've ever had a puncture in that one.
No.
And this one is the third in a long line.
Yeah,
the first one cost £30, second hand, and didn't last very long.
No.
And the next one lasted a couple of years, and that cost £350.
Right.
But this one we're hoping see me out.
Yeah, and you find...
as I say, when that one dies, we'll get another one like this.
And that will recharge overnight, will it, or shorter than that?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not like an electric car, which takes a lot of time.
Well, it's... what do they claim for? I don't know, this is...
Is that some sort of indicator of power left?
I think it'll be switched on to do that, but there we are, it's not switched on.
Yes, it's up to the full.
I haven't got a key, but you ask it what its state of charge is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you are.
Yeah, I saw the full.
It's full.
Yeah.
It's full.
That's great.
Yeah.
And how long will that stay for then, or does it gradually drain away?
Well, we've been away for a week and come back, and I've gone off and done something. But generally, it's just like locally, Willerton or whatever.
Yeah.
We've been out to the garden centre on the way to Bridgewater, but yeah.
Do you have to use it more or less straight after you've charged it, or can you leave it, say, unused for a week or so and it's all okay?
And the lights are built in and they're very good, and they are
oh, yes, I've
LEDs.
noticed the lights. Oh yes, yeah, because they are very good, aren't they? Yeah,
and they're very good.
What's the real
tiny
one like?
little one in the centre there, but the whole red. There's only one bulb in there, I'm told, but it lights up the whole blooming thing.
Oh yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest problems with the bike being seen, isn't it?
Well, there we are. We both use those.
Yeah.
Well, Angela's not so fussy as I am.
Because I think, yeah, I seem to remember she didn't even have a reflector on her bike.
It's got one.
Is it somewhere?
One, it lies. That's how it is, you know, and it should be.
Oh, you've got a decent one there. Yeah, I've never really noticed that one before. No. I've seen her go by and I thought, oh gosh, it's not even got a reflector.
Yeah, and quite often you'll see Angela without a crash helmet on. Right, to the business. Yeah. A neighbour started to prune their apple tree, and so we get all the prunings. Anything.
Right, I guess you've got a wood burner stove.
We'll see that later. Everything that is thicker than my thumb goes in the wood pile.
Yeah. And
anything thinner, and about half of that come from neighbours, and that's shredded.
I'll film your face a bit if you don't mind. Yeah.
Not at all. And this is shredded and composted.
How do you shred it?
Oh, I've got a machine here.
Oh, right. Yeah, all right. Oh, a really monster type machine, yeah. How is that electrically powered?
Yeah, about 2.5 kilowatts.
Right, I'll let you bring it out.
I just stick it there, plug it in, and away we go, and that will go down in about 10 minutes.
That's very useful.
And these here, our neighbours bring their kitchen waste.
Yes.
And that goes into the wormery.
Oh,
because it might have bacon or meat or egg, things that might attract
worms. Yeah.
Well, it might attract rats and vermin. You see.
Oh yeah.
Even the wormery, they can't get near it, and it stays in there for getting on for a year.
Gosh, well, we'll deal with one thing at a time, shall we?
Yeah.
Although saying that, I was watching a television programme last night where now there's a process where you can pick up all sorts of waste plastic, which is a right problem on seashores and goodness knows what, and convert it into diesel fuel.
Oh.
So that's superb in the future, I'm sure.
What does it cost to do that? We shouldn't have made
that's
it in
the
the
thought.
First place, but we've got it, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Right, so what would you like to do now?
Right, where's your wood burner? That's indoors, of course, so we won't see that.
Yeah, I was going to take you on a tour, actually.
Yeah, you lead the way. You lead the way, Charles.
So, have you seen the panels?
Yes, that's right. You haven't got so many as I've got, then?
No, we've only got 10. There was all we could afford at the time.
Well, that's amazing that you're telling me the amount of money those have earned you, because my figures aren't anywhere near as high as that.
Well,
because you're
we'll
on the 40 pence.
Later.
You're on the 40 pence.
And the one on the left is hot water.
Yes.
And because we're with Good Energy, we're under the renewable energy scheme, and we get £23.81p a quarter for not using fossil fuel to heat our water. And it's a lot more than our gas bill, so our gas is free.
Right, I see. Yeah.
The energy for our bikes is free.
Yeah. That's the way to live an economic green life, isn't it?
Well, yeah, the good life.
Yeah, yes, right. Indeed.
I think that's about the front, really.
Right, I notice these great big storage tanks here from the garage for rainwater.
This is the water from the front of the house.
Right.
It's only 350 gallons.
Right.
But it keeps us going.
And how much would a tank like that cost? About £500–600?
£200.
Oh, that's not too bad then for the size of it.
It's a reject from the factory that makes them. You see.
Yeah.
You go and ask them for a reject. You obviously don't want the hole in the bottom, but it failed for I don't know what reason it failed for.
Some sort of cosmetic reason, possibly. Yeah.
It's up to about there now.
Yeah. And you feed that into your house supply then, do you?
Yes.
That's what that
We'll
pipe
see all
is there.
that, where that goes.
Yeah.
That goes. And this, we've just used the last of the wood from here, and there are one or two bits which got a bit damp, and they're in there. They're just dry off in there.
Oh yes, and a sun glass cabinet. Oh, I see the idea. It's not a display cabinet. It's a way of getting the dampness out of the wood.
Normally, plants live in there in the winter on the top shelf, but I haven't put it in this yet. So
it's a fuel.
What I'll do is take this deck comes out, and the whole thing's filled up with tomatoes. It's a tomato factory.
Right.
And now that was our fuel for last winter, which we've just used.
Yeah. This
is our fuel for next winter to start off. And by next week, I'll start filling that one up, and that will contain at least as much as this. There's £180 worth of wood there.
Is that all free supply, or do you buy it?
No, I buy that. what comes free comes through the gate, and people just throw it down.
Right.
This is
the tank for the back.
This one holds only hold 250 gallons. But somebody gave me that, and it's never been used for oil. It was bought to be
Oh, it was
used.
an oil tank.
I don't know what they paid for it, but anyway, we just put water in it.
Yes. And that's fed from the gutters at the back of the house.
The back of the house.
Yeah. Yeah, substantial guttering too, much heavier gauge.
I had to double that up because it was overflowing.
And you feed the house gutters into it as well there?
Oh yeah, the whole lot, whole of the back goes in there.
Yeah.
And this is where, this came from a house down in West Street. A chap walks up and leaves his box there, takes an empty one and goes off.
Oh, I see, yeah. Well, that's a good scheme.
What comes out there is dynamite. It smells terrible, but it's.
What do you actually use that for?
Tomatoes. You have to dilute
for gardening.
5 to 1.
Right.
And if there's any surplus, it goes on the compost heap.
I see you've got your rhubarb coming up there.
That's right. Yeah.
And another one.
This is terrible bed. The sun doesn't get to it at all in the winter.
No, sun's just above us now up there. Yeah. That's why you got your solar panels on the other side of the house.
Oh, yeah, that's very, very slightly south, but this one's very slightly north. But Stegursey, they've got them on both. Georgie just down the road there, and Stephen, they've got theirs on both sides.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. And while we're here, let's go and look at the next bit here. Angela puts bindweed in there, and the idea is that it rots down, and then when it's all rot, it goes used for something else.
Okay.
This is another one. This is full of comfrey leaves and bindweed. And what comes out the bottom is not as good as wormery water, but it's almost as good. And in here,
I see you've got a
bucket and
high efficiency light.
We don't use the inside.
Oh, that's a toilet. I see.
Oh yeah, bucket and chuck it system.
Right. Where do you chuck it? What am I looking at down there then?
Yeah, that's the compost boxes.
Right.
But Angela will say this is the wrong time to look at the garden because this is the dead period. I'm just putting that up. Angela wants me to warm that bit of ground up to put something in, you know.
Yes.
So, you know, yeah. But the soil here now is the soil here is friable.
Yes.
Doesn't smear at all.
Oh, it's just more like concrete.
Well, this was like concrete. And it's had 18 years of compost on it.
Wow.
Every year a bed gets a foot of compost.
Oh, I see, yes. You've got several different beds, some of them raised. Yeah, right, fine.
Well, only because the wood came free. Yeah, here we are.
I see some strawberry plants as I walk down.
This has been in there a year.
Right.
And it was up to there.
Gosh.
It's gone right down to there. And that will all
No smell, is there?
Well, it's all organic, yeah.
Right,
yeah.
okay.
And the next one is that one. That one's going down, and I'll start using that after about June.
Right.
And that'll have been. And this one is the current one.
Okay.
And our neighbours' grass, leaves, and the shreddings go in these. You see.
Right.
When this one's full, and it'll have to be filled to about there.
Right.
We'll use this one. And this, somebody gave me a divan bed.
Right, yeah.
The frame of a divan bed, and, and that will go across there.
All right.
Yeah, when I start using that.
Gosh.
This is the wild corner.
And what's that little box in the corner?
That is a hedgehog Hilton. We've had hedgehogs in it,
nice.
but not recently, and it's very sad. But there we are. And this is general rubbish.
Yeah.
But the most important thing about it is stinging nettles. We get a fantastic mass of stinging nettles.
Oh, I can see it
up completely, hides everything, and it provides aphids and things go on that early.
Yeah.
And then and the ladybirds live on the stinging nettles, and then when they've eaten all those aphids, they go on to eat the aphids in the rest of the garden.
Useful allies to have.
Hasn't been pruned this spring yet, but that's my next job. It's been my next job for a month, but it'll get done.
Okay.
And last year we only got 3 barrelfuls of apples off it. But the year before it was 5 barrelfuls.
What, eating apples?
Oh, Bramleys.
Bramleys, okay.
Bramleys.
Does Angela do a lot of apple pies then?
Well, yeah, we've still got some left. We're still eating them.
Right.
For the next month.
Stock them up. Wow.
Sometimes, Angela, we plant something that is a bit susceptible to bird damage, and that goes on it, that cage. We lift it and put it. It's just stored there. Okay.
Right. Well, there's never a dull moment for your existence, is there? You've got something to do all the time.
This is in the bed we grew our potatoes in last year.
Right.
And that is very rough, coarse compost, straight from our box. Mm-hmm. And I haven't weeded it.
I see an old apple or two on the top there.
Well, we leave it for the birds, and the birds, they'll all disappear. The birds, once the blackbirds break through the skin, it's gone in 2 or 3 days.
Yes.
And this is our garlic. It's the only thing that we plant really early.
Garlic, all right.
Yeah, well,
I like garlic. I didn't know how it looked in the garden.
There's about a dozen or so elephant garlic ones, and they grow as big as an orange, you know. Mm. And they're mild, and you eat them like an apple. And the rest is all ordinary.
Right.
But we'll get a bit.
You're even saving the water, I see, from the greenhouse down there.
We haven't got there yet. This is the bed that had onions in last year. Mm-hmm. So this will have all the odds and so's in it, you know, beetroot, kohlrabi and things, whatever. Yeah. And that next bit, that's we're still eating food from the garden from last summer. You can see a bit of chard there. That goes into bubble and squeak and things like that. And whatever. And there is a bit of a disaster. It's celery. It looks good, but it's very stringy. Mm-hmm. So when I get around to it, that'll all be shredded and go onto the heap. Yeah, some will be made
nothing
into
wasted, all made useful. Yeah.
And that bed has not had potatoes in it for 3 years. That bed and that bed, and they will have that. And there's some straggly bits of kohlrabi left over from last year, but I'll still eat those. Mm-hmm. Peel them, and the centre is sort of a white, well, meat if you like, but it's to the centre of the plant. And I shred that, put a bit of olive oil, a bit of cider vinegar with it, organic cider vinegar. It's great. Right. And the greenhouse there, it's got it's got a vine in it.
Oh, right.
And the other one's got a vine in it, and last year we only got about 20 pounds of grapes. But the year before we had over 30 pounds of grapes.
Do you make your own wine then?
Well, no, I give them to a lady. We eat them, we give them to people and they eat them, but they're full of pips. They're called
old-fashioned style.
They're called strawberry grapes. So they're small, they're very sweet, they're lovely little grapes. But everyone has got about 5 pips in it. You're very pippy.
Annoying, but
so winemaking is and we get a few bottles back.
Good.
See? And
lovely.
The water.
So a lot of your neighbours know you quite well then, really?
Well,
and they give you things and get things back.
We give away about a third of the apples we produce. We just take them to people.
Hearing those seagulls up there, I can see there's bird boxes above here. Do you have residents in those bird boxes?
When we moved here, we put them up, and we got a nice flock of blue tits.
Oh, nice.
But when
and more. Yeah.
When the garage closed at the gas factory.
Yes, what used to be.
Glass people renovated it and did it all up. They took a lot of advertising boards off the back of the building. Right. And the sparrows were nesting behind there. Oh. And when they did that, the sparrows lost their home, and they just came and took over. Oh, okay. So it's all sparrows now. You see now, it's been trodden now, but they're roosting in there, and there's a few roosting in that one. And we see them when we're in bed in the morning. We see them flying in and out of that one. Oh, nice. That's a 3-holer.
Gosh, we've got plenty of material here.
Sparrows are gregarious little birds. Yeah. And they like living together.
Because generally they're a bit rare to see now, sparrows in England, aren't they?
Well, we record what we see, and the sparrows are, I think, holding their own really, but we're very concerned about blue tits, and we haven't seen a greenfinch, the odd one greenfinch every now and then. But 18 years ago we get 20 or 30 greenfinches.
Oh, very nice.
But we're getting half a dozen or so goldfinches, which we didn't used to get. Just
before we leave your toilet, I see you've got a Prague poster up there.
Yeah.
Living in Prague?
My stepson works there and lives there.
Oh, right.
And so we go there occasionally.
That's nice. I went there once.
By train.
Oh, lovely.
By train.
Gosh.